It is Thursday morning here. I'm heading to drop the kids off to school and go to the barn. It dawned on me last night, I was in such a rush to get to Ollie's baseball game, I forgot Mounds for All. And I got a message from one of our clients asking about Mr. Scratch last night. It dawned on me that the message that I had that I made did not get sent out to everybody yesterday. What'll happen is sometimes I'll be writing a message on the back end of our site, and then someone will call or something. I'll get distracted and it'll disappear. It doesn't sit in drafts or anything. It just is gone. So I thought I sent it out, but clearly I didn't. There was nothing major with Mister. He just had a little bit of a temperature yesterday and was picky at his feed, and Stacy just opted to give him the night off, which makes the most sense, obviously. And then Mounds for All, his first start ever with hobbles on. Somebody asked, why the hobbles? I said, well, Brett thought he'd be more useful with hobbles on. I said, hobbles, no hobbles, fine with me, whatever you want to do. He did race good. I told Stacy after Brett said he thought he was a winner and he kind of hung. I said, well, you got to remember when he was young, he was a bit of a Hangosaurus Rex. He would hang out and not really finish his work off the best, but he's grown into being a better horse. But if you just think he's going to coast by on his own accord, more times than not, you're going to be disappointed. You got to stay on him. He's got to finish off his work. And that's just Mounds for All. So race good, finished second. I was happy with him. And then of course we went through the rest of the day. I was so pleased with. I'm a little maybe I'm a little biased because I want to see Melisandre do good. She's grown on me over the last year. Last year she was a bit of a disappointment training down. She was to everybody. Just immature. She had a curve that bothered her, her knees bothered her. We turned her out, brought her back much better. She won her first two starts back this year and was good. Now, a little Peggy in her third start over at Northfield Park finished second, but maybe a little hesitant. And I just thought that might just be her, right? Maybe that was just her. I was a little easy on her. Maybe her hobbles were a hair tight. The horse that won it clearly was sitting on a win, and maybe she just was second best that night. Then she comes out her next start, makes a break, which she has never done. And I couldn't quite put my finger on why. But again, her back was sore. Her feet were sore. Well, her back was sore because her feet were sore. So we switched her back to flip-flops. She had trained down last year with them on. We put the flip-flops back on her, and what a difference. If you watched the race last night, I had a chore. This is a small filly. And I had a chore getting her back into the 6-hole. She was hell-bent on moving forward, and I finally got her wrestled the way back into the 6-hole. Then getting into the last turn, I'm like, maybe she's just not fast enough. It's just, I kicked the earplugs, and she came right to life. And if she had a straight shot from that point where I kicked the plugs getting into the last turn to the wire, she destroys them. As it turned out, the avenue I was going down closed. Ryan Stahl moved back down to the rail. That happened to me twice yesterday. I know Ryan certainly wouldn't have done it for any malicious reason, where I think that Tyler maybe was blocking in a little way. And I guess if both had clearance, they can do that. But I was a little miffed at one and frustrated with the other, but it certainly wasn't... Listen, it was just racing. It was what it was. And with Melisandre, Ryan did go back down in lots of time, but there was nowhere to go. And when she gets her mind set on something, man, she just figured rather than slow down and go to the outside, maybe what I'm going to do is just go through that human, that race bike, and that horse just to continue on my way. She is a little pit bull sometimes. For her to get stopped again, second time in the race, I had to twist her almost in half to get her backed up. Wheeled her out in the 4-wide path and charging again at the wire. That was a very, very good mile. What can I do for you, Miss McDonald?
Can you tell her the one I picked up a baby?
Yes, you picked up a baby mouse. It was great. Melisandre, I thought, raced fantastic. Mounds for All raced good. Arrowhead Hanover was superb. Even Amy asked me, she goes, was he good though? Because he came first over and he only won by half a length. I said, honey, those are aged horses. I can't implore enough on everybody the difference between 2-year-olds racing against 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds racing against 3-year-olds, and young horses racing against aged horses. It is very, very difficult to do. For him to come first over against those types of horses and win the race the way he did, take the lead, secure the lead, and hold the lead, 54-3. His own last half had to be 55 at a piece. That was a huge mile. So a great job by Arrowhead Hanover. Exactly what I want to see heading into a stake race. Now he's got 10 days before the stake race next week, which is perfect timing. A little bit of a rest, train him up, race him next weekend. It gives Memento Mori an opportunity to race in that class next Wednesday. So it'll be 6 days back to the Bunker Hill to Arrowhead Hanover, 8 days back for Memento Mori. The timing of all of this is almost perfect. And then, of course, another expensive filly that we've had high hopes on that has not shown what we need her to just yet was Grand Slam Dio. She raced good yesterday, got jammed in the last turn. I had no illusions that she was going to win, but she was going to be a very close third, and it would have been a very good mile for her. She was third. Melisandre was fourth, but she raced very, very good. So, yeah, from where you were, it looked to me she was almost a winner. She was a half a length probably from being a winner. She raced very good, but she was fourth. So Grand Slam Dio, again, I could see some things we have to work on her too. Her feet are also a little bit sore. Her back also is a little bit stiff. The one difference with her, she can be a little bit of a picky eater sometimes, where Melisandre literally would go through the drive-thru at McDonald's if you let her. She eats everything. So 2 fillies that a lot of question marks are still hanging off of them. Both raced good yesterday. Arrowhead Hanover was, as I said, superb, and Mounts for All was good. A scratch from of Yo Mister, but he'll be back next week. That was yesterday in a nutshell. Today we only have one starter. Now, Jody Jameson, a good friend of mine, he drives some of our horses in Ontario. Been a very, very good friend of mine for a very long time. His horse, I didn't realize that Stacy said she had a horse for Jody. That was the Jody. So he had messaged me and asked me if I'd go over and drive his horse today at the Meadows, and I said I would. We don't have any of our horses in at the Meadows, but I am going to make my way over there and drive Jody's horse for him. Also, Freedom Hill races at 6 o'clock. Brett had jumped off for a stake filly he drove last year for Virgil Morgan. So we have Trace Tetrick driving Freedom Hill tonight. So good luck to all my partners. One lone starter tonight, but I'll tell you what, quite a different looking Friday. Looks like Money will race from post 7 tomorrow. Manhattan Money, Spitfire Overseas, 3-point Blue Chip. All the horses now. I told you Spitfire's sitting on a win. He's going to do this, he's going to do that. I still think he is good enough to win, but it's a little stiffer crew tomorrow. A couple of the horses that maybe were borderline open horses have dropped in there, but truth be told, I think that Spitfire Overseas is a legit open horse, and all stitching will be in place tomorrow for his race. I think he'll go a big mile tomorrow and is coming in looking pretty good. 3-point Blue Chip's in a great spot also. Manhattan Money drew the rail. That might sound like a great thing. I would much rather draw 4, 5, 6 with Manhattan Money, but the rail is what it is, and looks like Money. All 4 of those horses coming in sharp tomorrow. Chicago Hall is in tomorrow. Gaslight James, Judas James jumped off Gaslight Hall. Billy Davis Jr. is going to drive Gaslight Hall. 7-2, I think, is an apparition. I think if Gaslight Hall trots and does his work well, you can speak up as I turn the corner. I went the wrong way to your school.
Yeah, no, I just noticed.
That's all right. We got tons of time, and it's not like it's much different anyway.
I was going the wrong way.
I didn't go the wrong way. I just went a different way that's a couple of minutes longer. That's all, honey. So Gaslight Hall, James jumped off for one of Roger Mayott's, and I don't know how you jump off a horse that trots 26-1 on the end of it after making a break, but maybe Roger's horse is that good. It looked to me like maybe a political move, but whatever. And he is going to drive. He's going to grace us with his appearance on Chicago Hall, who is 5-1. I don't know how he would be 5-1. I thought he would have been down good too. Tried him 55 his last two. Foxy Seaside 15-1, but coming off that break, James is going to drive her. She has stakes coming up in the month of May in Ohio. Tech Song Soprano 9-5 with Scott Zeron out of Yonkers, and the aforementioned Jody Jameson is going to drive Resolve Indeed at 10-1. I want to get a look at her stake schedule. I would love to bring her over to Northfield and pound the non-winners of 1 and non-winners of 2 with her. I think she could do some real damage in short order over here, but only if it doesn't negatively impact her stake schedule in Ontario. I think she's going to be a decent grassroots filly. I think we're going to have a lot of fun with her. So I'm by no means saying this is what we're doing. I'm just saying I'm going to look, and when I'm done this video, I'm going to look at her stake calendar, and if there's a gap in there, a filly like her with 1 win, I think she'd mop them for 2 or 3 weeks. It would go a long way for her confidence, and it would be beneficial to us also. So that's a possibility, something I'm looking into, but excited. Why is this thing doing this? Excited about the goings-on over the next 48 hours. One started today, a slew of starters on Friday. It should be a lot of fun. Saturday, Time Is On My Side is in Ontario. JK Victory is in Ontario. Rose Run Alexander, I just wanted a good draw, and unfortunately, those requests were not answered. An 8-hole for Rose Run Alexander. Vehement's got the rail, not a great place for him either. Aaron is going to drive him, and Trosa. So that's how our weekend looks as of right now, focusing on the racing on Friday mostly. And then again, Amy and I will give you guys a breakdown of all the babies, where they're sitting, what they're doing, and what I think of them. You know what? We'll grade them. We'll grade them for you on Saturday. So with that, I'm going to let you go. Have a wonderful day. It is a beautiful day. It's going to be very hot here in Ohio. It's supposed to be raining later in the afternoon a little bit.
No.
Hopefully, yeah, it is supposed to be raining a little bit this afternoon. But hopefully it
Ollie
stops,
got a
as
film.
Ollie has baseball again tonight. So good luck to his team. They're just starting their season, and then we make our way back to Ontario. Ollie's Ontario team has a tournament starting on Friday. So take care. Have a great Thursday. I will talk to you all very soon.